Bumming with Bob. Let's have a few brews. We'll have some fun with the bum wine crew. So kick your feet up and grab you a beer. 'Cause damn, man, I'm glad that you're here.
All right. This is Bumwine Bob welcoming you to an all-new edition of Bum with Bobcat. And joining us on the show to throw back some fine beverages is a fellow bumwine connoisseur, professional wrestler, and the creator of a new drinking game that you might have seen recently called BoozeQuest. It is the one and only Nathan Hull. How you doing, Nathan?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling a little parched here, though, and we were chatting before we started recording, and we were already getting a little ahead of ourselves, but we have some fine concoctions that we're going to be drinking here tonight.
I just finished a gym workout. Now I've got some Boone's Farm Strawberry Hill and some Fruit Punch 4 Loco that I'm going to mix into a terrible swill and throw it all together. And a horrid Sidewalk Slam.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting, but I mean, at least, anytime you mix 4 Loko with anything, and I almost went down the 4 Loko road again. When you kind of teased it and you showed me what you had, and I was like, do I want to go 4 Loko again? Because I've been kind of on a 4 Loko kick recently over the 4th of July weekend, and prior to that, I did the Loko USA. I did the 4 Loko pregame. So I'd kind of been on a 4 Loko kick for like the past month or so. But I figured I was going to switch things up, and it is July, and it is Juice July. I featured the Screwdriver cocktail on the last edition of the podcast, and what I'm going to be cracking open this week is the Juice Blackberry.
Ooh.
I don't know. This one's I don't know. I'm a little scared. I'm a little worried how this one might go, but I know you already cracked open your drinks there. So I'm going to crack open this guy and see. Wanted to see how, I mean, I was like blackberry. It could go either way. It could be good or it could be not so good.
Well, I haven't taken my first sip yet, but I think I'm going to take an individual sip from the Boone's Farm and the 4 Loko.
Okay.
And then follow it up with the mix.
Yeah. You got to get equal footing of each on their own first before you go into the concoction. That's always a good way to start it out.
Clearly, you also have a sophisticated palate.
Oh, you know me. This is all we do is sophisticated stuff here on the podcast.
Only the finest of bum wines.
Oh yeah. So, well, if you're gonna take a sip, I'm gonna take a sip here of this guy too. So, cheers.
Cheers. Okay, so this Boone's Farm. That's actually really sweet. That's not too bad. I could slam a bottle of that. And 4 Loko. A little vile, but I could take it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was trying to think. The last time I had a fruit punch 4 Loko, and has to be a long time. I can't remember. It's been at least 10 years since I've had a fruit punch 4 Loko. It's not really.
It seriously tastes like the 4 Loko vomit.
Yeah.
It tastes like it does coming back up.
Yeah. Now this Juice Blackberry, I'm surprised. This is actually pretty tasty. I was a little worried about it, but this is not bad at all.
And that was what, 14%?
Yeah, that's a 14%er here.
Nice.
So right, and is that fruit punch? Is that a 12 or 14 4 Loko?
It's a 10.
Oh, a 10? Okay.
I'm in Utah where everything's like a little down.
Yeah, you're right. That's that crazy state.
Yeah. I've only been here 3 years, but I forgot. Bum wine like literally isn't a thing here at all. You can't find Mad Dog.
Yeah, that's sad, man. I'm sorry. I feel bad.
Yeah, I went to a gas station the other day, and I found a 4% Skill Reserve.
Wow.
Yeah, and it still tastes like ass.
No, yeah, it's still going to taste the same, just you're just not going to get that extra 4% buzz you'd get from the 8% regular Steel Reserve.
It's a horrible, horrible thing.
Yeah, so you just have to drink double to get the buzz you want from what you would normally get other places.
Yeah, I'm a determined drunk, but I don't know if I'm that determined.
No, it all depends within reason. Now, if you want to double your Steel Reserve intake, that's probably questionable. But there probably are some other drinks that you can enjoy to make up for that lack of alcohol content.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now I'm going to try the Sidewalk Slam.
Oh, let's see.
All mixed up together.
All right, let's see. Drum roll.
That's a strong aftertaste, but reasonably sweet. I like it.
Well, I think you're mixing that Boone's Farm in there with the Four Loko is going to kind of cut back on the Four Loko aftertaste a bit. So I think the Boone's will help you out there because I think what is the Boone's Farm's only like 3 point something percent. I know it's a really low percentage on that stuff.
Oh no, this is it's 7.5.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, it was like 8.5% mixed together.
Yeah, so that's not bad. I know. I could have sworn. I don't know what all the Boone's Farm ABVs are, but I know there was one that I had that was a really low percentage, and I was like, this is barely alcohol, and it's just like this artificial sweetener. I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, I think it was the Blue Hawaiian one that looks just like Windex, and it tastes pretty similar to it. Not that I go around drinking Windex all the time, but it happens. I mean, the best was one time years ago. I posted a picture. I had a bottle of Night Train on my counter at a party, and there was a bottle of Windex just randomly sitting next to it on the side, and somebody commented, said, "Fuck it, man, just drink the Windex instead." So what I brought along with me, since I knew you were making a concoction here, I decided to, rummage through what I have around the house, which, I have a wide variety of bum wine and cheap booze just laying around always. And I had a bottle of MD 2020, the Golden Pineapple here. And I was like, pineapple and blackberry, that sounds pretty enjoyable. I said, let me mix that up and make a little JOOSE MD 2020 concoction here to get the party started. There we go. Pouring out get that MD 2020 in there first, and then get that JOOSE in there with it. It's got a nice little dark blue color to it there. All right, so let's try this out. I don't know. I think it should be. I don't know. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised with the blackberry JOOSE, and the Golden Pineapple MD 2020 is a solid flavor. So let's see how this one is. Not bad. Yeah, I mean that's pretty solid. That's a pretty solid mix right there. So
where are you located?
I am in New Jersey.
Nice.
Yeah, so we have a wide variety of alcohol, and I was just out searching, and I'll post a picture up there where I stopped and I was at this convenience store that had a nice row of Four Loko out there, all the different colors, all different flavors out there, and luckily I can't get JOOSE readily by me here, but there's a place in Pennsylvania. It's about 2 hours away by the Hershey Park area, and they have a nice selection of JOOSE. So that's where I've been getting my JOOSE fulfillment anytime I go out there. And when I was there last time, I picked up the Screwdriver and the Blackberry, and the Screwdriver was not so good. That got a thumbs down from me, but this Blackberry is pretty good.
Hell yeah. I grew up in Panama City, Florida, like the spring break capital of the world,
mm-hmm.
where all the bars are open like 24/7, walking distance from the beach. You could buy liquor at the corner stores. And yeah, Four Loko and JOOSE readily available. And yeah, ever since I've moved to Salt Lake City, it's very depressing.
I said that's like a culture shock, man. You're going out there from having all this stuff at your fingertips, and now they strip out all that stuff. They cut down the alcohol content, and oh man, I couldn't survive. I couldn't do it. I give you a lot of credit out there.
Yeah, you can get most of what you normally get, but it takes work.
Yeah, you got to do some real searching out there to find it.
Searching and timing, and yeah, lots of stupid hoops just to get like the same thing you'd get otherwise.
Yeah. I mean, what's your go-to, like on a normal day? What do you usually like to drink?
I like IPAs. So right now, my favorite is Squatter's Hop Rising. It's like a really hoppy IPA, 9.0.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's a little bit like Sierra Nevada's Torpedo.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that. I might have had that once or twice in the past, but I'm not an IPA fan. Most of them I cannot. I can't do it. I mean, I have some friends that are huge IPA fans and would swear by it, but I'm just like, some of them I just take that first sip and that hoppiness is like, okay, it's a little much for me. Give me hey, where's that Still Reserve? give me that.
Oh yeah, it depends on my mood. Normally I'm an IPA guy, but if I want like a domestic light beer, I'm all about Natty Light.
Okay.
It's like where you can drink like 25 of them and be fine.
Oh yeah. You drink a case and you're good to go.
Yeah. So if you're playing BoozeQuest, for example, that's like my go-to beer.
Yeah. Now, have you had the Natter Days? Have you had the other varieties of the natural lights?
I've had the pink lemonade Natty Light.
Okay.
What other ones do they have right now? I'm in Utah, so I'm probably a little behind the times.
Yeah. Well, they have the new one out now that I just featured a couple weeks back, which was the red, white, and blueberry, which is a blueberry lemonade Natter Day, which was it's a special limited edition one that just came out. I guess it's just for the summertime, which is pretty good. The regular strawberry lemonade one, like the one you said, is probably the best one. Now, there is a pineapple lemonade as well. I haven't tried that one yet because I can only find it in 30 packs. And it will get drank if I was to get it, but I don't want to really commit to the 30 pack. If I can get a 12 pack of it to try it out and see. But as of now, I think those are the only three that are out there. But I wouldn't be surprised if you see some more Natter Days make their way into the market.
Ooh, I'm gonna keep my eyes open because, yeah, I could do a pack of blueberry Natty Lights.
Yeah, they're pretty good. It's pretty good. You can sit there all day and drink those things. It's great summertime beer. So you kind of teased it there. You teased about playing BoozeQuest. And anybody who doesn't know about BoozeQuest, it's a role-playing drinking game. And now, honestly, I'll tell you that I'm not a big role-playing game person, but I like drinking games and games that involve drinking. How did you come up with it? What was the story behind the BoozeQuest?
Originally I made it 9 years ago, just as a house game for friends. I had an odd job building a store in a mall, putting up all the shelves and everything at like 3 a.m. when the mall was closed. They had this big storage facility, and it's where they stored all their shelves and odds and ends. And in this corner, I found this Chick-fil-A spinner wheel, like free chicken nuggets, free fries, free drink, whatever. But it was absolutely covered in cobwebs. Like, it was clearly sitting there for years and hadn't been touched. It was 3 a.m. I was by myself, and I ran a party house at the time. I saw the wheel, and I was like, this is way too obvious. I can do something with this. So I lifted it, and I brought it home, and my friends and I were playing around with it, and I was like, I should turn this into like a drink wheel. You spin it, and like, take 3 drinks, take 4 drinks, etc., or give 5 drinks. And it became like this drink wheel, and I was just like, maybe we can turn this into a board game. And it like just slowly snowballed into like this full-fledged thing where I grabbed a Chutes and Ladders board game, painted over the board, and drew a castle on it. And I was a big D&D fan at the time, and so I came up with this situation where like you're a team of adventurers and you're raiding a castle, and inside this castle is an everlasting keg. You touch it, it fills with like whatever beer, liquor, bum wine, or whatever you can imagine, and it's endless. And at the end of every round, once everybody's like had their turn, each person like takes a turn spinning the big wheel, doling out drinks or taking drinks, or there's like a mini game option. And so yeah, we just like just kind of like ad-libbed this game, and kind of like it was very unofficial, and we just like added rules and like stipulations as we went along. And over 9 years, everybody was like, "Hey, you should publish this." And I lifted all the graphics from D&D books, and I hand painted the board. I had no clue how to start it or like officially publish it. It was just, I was like, no, this is just for me and my friends. COVID came along, and due to a back injury, I had to retire from wrestling around the same time. And so I'm quarantined in my house, and I'm playing another session of BoozeQuest, and one of my friends is like, "Hey, this game's amazing. Why haven't you published it?" And same old thing. I was like, people have been telling me this for years, but none of the graphics are original. The board's hand painted. I wouldn't know where to start. And he's just like, "Well, what are you doing otherwise?" Yeah, I was stir crazy in my house, and I was like, "Well, shit. Yeah, let's get this thing." And I had no clue where to start. But I went on Facebook and announced that I was starting a GoFundMe. I was like, throw money at me, and if you throw me $100, I'll get you a copy of the game. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but it will happen. Throw me 50, I'll get you a BoozeQuest t-shirt. And in fairly short order, I raised like $3,300. Hired a team of 3 artists, got all the monster and hero artwork done, got somebody to do the box and the rule book, somebody to make 3D miniatures, and I just floundered around online and eventually found somebody I found a website, boardgamemaker.com, and literally just give them all the artwork. They'll make a box, make a board, whatever you like, any components you need. And printed out a run of 50 games, handed them out to everybody who donated, and just kind of snowballed from there. I found somebody who wanted to invest, and he published another 100 games for me. Yeah, it's kind of like it's still in the developmental phase, but it's really blowing up.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's great. Yeah, like you said, it's still the beginning stages of it, essentially, but it's gaining traction and making its way out there. When you can get people that are really invested in the game and get people behind you to support it, then you know you really have something to work with there.
Yeah, it's been a journey. I really didn't expect it to come to get where it's going. And we have a guy who's very big on Twitch, and there's a convention, the Penny Arcade Expo, in early September. He found out about BoozeQuest and said he wanted to help me out. Bought 3 copies of the game, and we met up, and apparently he's like very well off financially, and he's like, "Hey, I want to help you blow this thing up. If you're interested, I'd like to fly you out to Seattle, where we're going to have a Twitch live stream, about 100,000 people watching, and we can play a run through of BoozeQuest and blow it up and start a Kickstarter and everything to get like the next batch of games out."
Nice.
Yeah, it's a little daunting, but that's about to happen in 2 months.
Yeah. Now, I guess is it really? I mean, I know the role playing game mark. I mean that's huge. I mean, people love that stuff. Now, is there really any role playing games that really incorporate a drinking game into it? I mean, I don't know. I've never really looked into that market, so I don't know. I mean, I know there's a ton of drinking games and drinking board games, card. I mean, it usually is drinking card games is what you play, but drinking role playing games. Is there really anybody out there that is doing anything similar to you?
Not to toot my own horn, but I've done a lot of research, and I've never seen anything quite like BoozeQuest. There's a few medieval drinking games, but they're all card games. There's no game really out there that like incorporates like a battle system and role playing and drinking. As far as I can tell, it's totally unique.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Because I'm like, when you brought this up, I started looking into it, and I'm like, this is a really good idea because people love role playing games, and you add the drinking game aspect to it as well, and you're kind of going for the long haul at that point. Because I mean, how long does a typical game of BoozeQuest take?
It depends on the number of players. If you have you can have between 2 and 7 players. Most games are usually about 4 people, and it's like an hour and a half. If you get 6 to 7, it's like closer to 2.5 hours, and you're usually consuming between 6 and 10 beers over the course of the game.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. A 2 hour or so game. It's not like the closest I've ever really come to role playing games is, and it's not even role playing at all. Is setting up and playing like a 6 hour game of Risk. I mean, that was like my longest attention span of games. Like me and my friends, we used to set that up, and it would take longer to set up the game of Risk than to actually try to complete it when you're sitting there for like 6 hours playing it. And that was before the days of drinking. But 2 hours, that's not bad because you can waste that same amount of time just playing random drinking card games. If it's, Cards Against Humanity or any other game that's out there that involves drinking. You can spend a whole night just playing that stuff and throwing back beers. But if you can play something like BoozeQuest, which is a little more involved with it, then I think you're drinking still. You're still having a good time, and it's something different. It's something to try out.
Yeah. Have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons or have any experience with it?
I do not know. It was never anything that I ever got into. I just never was. It just never piqued my interest in my lifetime.
Right on. Well, yeah. BoozeQuest plays a little bit like it, but on the lightest sense. It's like D&D for dummies.
Yeah.
You move across the board. Occasionally run into monsters or other players. You roll dice to fight them, and when the battle pans out, you pretty much just storytell how it happens. So if you bump into somebody and you kill them, yeah, you'll have a few rounds swinging at each other, and the other person will be like, "Okay, so how does it pan out?" And you just tell the story. And the more and more drunk you get, the more ridiculous the stories get.
like any, regardless if you're playing a game or not, the drunker you get, the more ridiculous your stories always seem to get anyway. So it works out perfectly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, but definitely. I mean, that's when you brought it up and I started looking into it. I'm like, damn, that's a great idea. And then you saw the original prototype with the MD 2020 bottle on it, and it was all right, I'm sold.
Is that towards Mad Dog?
Yeah, I built that in Panama City, Florida, where Mad Dog was readily available. I miss it so.
Yeah, well, we'll get you. We'll find a way. We'll get you some out there. I can feel you getting that itch over there. You're craving it.
I mean, for Christ's sakes, I'm mixing Boone's Farm and Four Loko.
Yeah. You see, this is where we're at, people. This is the lows that we can get to here on the podcast. We're trying to get people the stuff they need. We're resorting to Boone's Farm and a Four Loko concoction to find our way to that MD 2020.
Oh man, you got any of that Mad Dog 2020?
Yeah. And it's funny because and MD 2020, it's only 13%, MD 2020. So it's not like it's this big high alcohol content wine. You think they could sneak that in over there? It's not that bad, guys.
Oh my god! So Mad Dog 2020 story. I took a flight to Denver, Colorado very recently, and I went to a barcade, a bar arcade. And I've been to a few where they serve beer, they serve liquor, etc. And they had this big shelf of everything they had, and they actually had Mad Dog 2020 on the shelves.
Oh, okay.
And so I went to the bartender and I was like, "So, what are you guys doing with the Mad Dog? Is this for mixed drinks, or are you selling shots of Mad Dog?" And they're like, "Oh no, we sell it by the bottle." And I was like, oh? And they were like, yeah, the only catch is, like, when we uncap it, we take the cap. You're not allowed to have it. You have to either finish it or leave it in the bar. And I was just like, holy shit. So you buy an entire bottle of Mad Dog and you're just in it to win it?
That's it, man. Go big or go home. That's it.
I was like, oh, I wish I lived in Denver. I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah,
I a whole bottle of Mad Dog. I'm in it.
Yeah, I've seen some places. I mean, I've never seen one in person, but a few people have sent me pictures in the past of places, and I don't know if that was it might have been that might have been in Florida too. I think like Jacksonville or something, where they were at a bar and they showed it there. And the only one time I saw it was I was in Boston, and they had a menu, and for whatever reason I cannot remember. It's the stupid restaurant where they're like act like dicks to everybody. It's it's Dick's. You see, I couldn't remember the name for the life of me. Then once I said Dick's, and I was like, shit, that's the name right there.
Yep.
So
they have one in Panama City.
Yeah, and this was in Boston. We went to this. I was up visiting. I was with some buddies, and we visited a friend that lives up there. And I saw the menu, and in the bottom of the menu said Mad Dog 2020, $5. And I'm like, what is this? I'm like, is this like a glass of it or a bottle? I'm like, what is it? It just says Mad Dog 2020, $5. And the guy's like, oh no, the guy's like, oh, it's a bottle. And I'm like, sold, get it for me. So he goes, he comes back, he has nothing in his hands. And I'm like, what is it? He's like, oh, sorry, man, we're all out. We don't have any more Mad Dog. I'm like, what the hell, man? I'm like, if you saw my face when I saw that on the menu, I was so excited. I'm like, this is great. I'm at a restaurant. I'm getting a bottle of MD 2020. And then he comes back and he's like, oh, sorry, man, we're all out. I'm like, really? Guy, whatever, give me whatever beer it was or something. I'm like, you just ruined my night. Thanks a lot, man. so yeah, I know. So I've yet to have it in actually purchasing it at a bar or restaurant. So I mean, that's something that if I could find it, I'd be all in. I'd say, whatever it is, you want to give me that bottle? Take the cap. We're going all in on this one, guys.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, like I said, I know it's got to be tough for you having that itch there and not having that stuff. I mean, what's your go-to? What was your go-to flavor of MD 2020?
Oh, the bling bling, the blue raspberry.
Oh yeah, always a classic. You can't go wrong with the bling bling. When the bottle has a gold chain on it, you know it's going to be good.
You know it's a drink with class.
Oh yeah. It's only the finest of bum wines there, and
you saw the boss monster in BoozeQuest. He's got the same bling bling.
Yeah. He's got the swag with him there, so it works out.
Oh, so the name of the dragon in the game, it's Mad Drag 2020.
So it's close enough, but not too close that you're going to get sued for copyright infringement.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a little story in the rule book to like introduce the scenario. So like if you want to role play it out, like your characters are heroes, they just finished up their quest, and when they finish, they go to a tavern to party down, and the tavern's actually called Boone's Tavern. And the dragon is Mad Drag 2020.
So you really, the more you tell me about this game, the more I'm like, all right, I gotta try this out. You incorporated all the classics into it.
It's got bum wine and professional wrestling in its heart.
Yeah. And now you said too. I know I said you said you're no longer in the wrestling biz, as that's what people call it, right? The biz. The biz. I mean, how long were you wrestling?
I called it a day in early 2021, but up until then it was 17 years.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. I'm 38. I've been in it for a minute.
Okay, yeah. This is you hitting that time frame to wind it down and say, all right, you had your fun.
I've got a bad disc in my back, and if it weren't for that, I'd probably be doing it for like another 4 or 5 years. But yeah, due to injury, not quite there anymore.
Yeah. I mean, so what made you want to get into? I mean, I'm sure it's just from growing up watching it that made you want to get into the business and try to be a wrestler.
Oh yeah, like from childhood. My dad like got me into it like from infancy. My third word was Sting. True story.
I almost spit out. I was taking a sip of my juice here. I almost spit it out when you said that.
But I grew up loving it. Was watching WCW, WWE with like equal interest, and there was a point. I can't even remember how old I was, but there was an Undertaker match where he was doing some supernatural shit and he like teleported across the room. There was this moment where like I looked at my dad. I was like, "So, what's going on here? Did he like? Does he have superpowers? What is this?" And just like Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny, and my dad was like, "Well, Nathan, I'm going to tell you what's up."
Yeah.
And he was like, "So this is a show. They all come up with their own personas. They agree to beat each other up. The impact is real, but they're telling a story. It's like a movie, but in live action." And like from there, my interest was piqued. I was like, "Holy shit!" They're just like they come up with their own superhero personas, and they just like do this play like where they really kill each other, and like they just come up with their own stories. And I was like, absolutely, this is exactly what I want to do when I grow up. There was a kindergarten assignment where we had to like crayon and pencil like when I grow up I want to be, and I was like a wrestler, and I spelled it horrendously and drew a picture of Sting like doing a stinger splash on Big Van Vader. And yeah, as soon as I got out of high school, I went to school for professional wrestling, and yeah, had no aspirations of college or any other job aspirations. Just went right into wrestling.
Right, you're like, I'm gonna be a wrestler. I'm doing it. That's my goal.
Yeah, and I got to the point where like it almost paid the bills. I was taking bookings like halfway across the country, but it made about as much as my day job.
Yeah, but it's gotta be. I mean, I can imagine it. It's gotta be. I mean, it's gotta be a lot of fun. It's gotta be a hell of a ride doing that. But definitely, it's got to be a lot of work if you're trekking along to all these different states and towns, and you're going all over the place doing these shots.
Oh yeah, it was absolutely fulfilling. Yeah, no regrets whatsoever.
Yeah, no, hey, that's good. I mean, what do you do? Assuming. I mean, did you ever get any tryouts with anybody, like any bigger companies or anything, or just doing independent shots?
Mostly independents, but I rubbed a bunch of elbows with like big names. I worked shows with Lex Luger, Rick Steiner, Disco Inferno, Rikishi, Glacier, Road Dogg. Yeah, I've got to brush up against the greats. But,
okay.
Yeah, never tryouts with like big companies.
It's got to be a blast, doing that stuff, and then like I said, working with these guys that you watched on TV, and then doing shows with them has got to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Glacier?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he is probably one of the coolest guys I've ever worked with. Like, I always wanted to be a wrestler growing up, but it was really like the launch of the luchadors in WCW, like 97, 98, that like really made me go, this is what, like, I absolutely need to do this. Because it wasn't just like big muscular, like,
right, yeah.
Yeah, it was like the wild flamboyant outfits and like the far out gimmicks. And Glacier was right in there with like his Mortal Kombat gimmick.
Right. And you see that and you're like, I can do that.
And yeah, I was all about it. La Parka was actually like my biggest inspiration. I love that guy.
Oh yeah, he was a lot of fun. Yeah, my friends. I mean, yeah, growing up watching that in that era was. I mean, that was definitely the best time to be a fan during the Monday Night Wars era. Growing up watching that stuff, I mean, that was like the best of the best, right? I don't think you can never top that again.
Oh yeah, it was the golden era. But I was working the show and Glacier was headlining. And I remember all the workers in the back were just like, don't mark out. Like, don't freak out about the guy. Don't be a fanboy. And everybody was like, yeah, all like, we got to be pro. And as soon as he got in the locker room, I let him change into his gear. And I was like, fuck that. Like, I have this dude's action figure. Like, I'm going to let him know I'm a fan. And so I hit him up and I was like, hey, I'm a big fan of yours. My match is on in like 10 minutes. Like, would you be down to like peek through the curtain, give me a critique? And he's like, yeah, absolutely, bro. Finished my match. I came to the back. He gave me a few pointers, but mostly he was just thumbs up. He was like, that was great. You were way over with the crowd. I'd like this. I'd like this. And I was like, thank you so much. And everybody's telling me not to fanboy. And as soon as I said that, he got this big grin. And I was like, but I am a huge WCW fan, like 97, 98. And he just like lit up. I was like, that was the era. Like you and La Parka and Mortis, like that was my jam. He's like, oh, that was the fucking best. Do you want to hear some stories? And I was like, yeah. And he sat me down and he just shared road stories about like traveling with La Parka, traveling with Mortis. We grabbed a few beers after the show and he was just so down to earth, so chill. Huh, Glacier, chill.
See, once again, it was chill. Oh, perfect. What perfect analogy right there.
But yeah, he and I talk on Facebook to this day now.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's cool.
And yeah, like, yeah, they say never meet your heroes, and they say fanboy when like you're a professional wrestler. But yeah, I let him know. I was like, dude, I'm a fucking mark for you. I got your action figure. He's like, that's awesome. Thank you. Do you want to hear stories? Totally awesome, dude.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because it's like I said, you don't want to, because it's somebody you grew up watching, and it's somebody you look up to. It's not like it's from like I don't say a different era. I mean, but essentially it is. I mean, it's somebody.
At this point, it is. That was 97.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's that long ago, but it is. I mean, I don't know for you. I'm one of those people too that always seems like, oh yeah, like 10 years ago was like, like 1999 or something like that. It doesn't seem like we've gone 20 years into, the 2000s at this point. And when you look at that, and it's like, yeah, there's people you saw, you looked up to, and now you're doing the same thing that you watched them doing. You say you don't want to mark out for them, you don't want to fanboy with them, but you have that respect for them, and you got to feel like when the guy like Glacier hears that, he's got to feel good too, knowing that, okay, hey, you really appreciate his work, you looked up to him, you're thanking him for the work he put into it, and you just want to know what you can do better, listening to him.
Yeah, I was a little worried like he'd be put off or like, yeah, be a little smug about it, but he was like totally down to earth. It was sweet.
Yeah, I'm sure it depends on the person.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the person you're talking to and how they perceive you. I mean, I'm sure there's probably some people that you ran into and worked with that you probably have some not so good experiences with as well. So I mean, you have good ones and bad ones. I mean, it happens.
Yeah. I did a show with Grandmaster Sexy, and not the nicest dude.
Yeah. Like you said, it'll happen.
Room, didn't want to talk to anybody. Like, yeah, there's a gamut.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you have some it depends on the person, how they feel about where they are at that time working. I mean, because you probably have some people that think that this is beneath them and they should be doing better things than other people who will embrace it and really, just put their all into it and say, hey, I'm going out there. I'm doing a show regardless of how many people are out there. I'm going to do my best work.
Yeah, I've definitely seen both ends of the spectrum as far as like former big names.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rikishi was also a really good dude.
Yeah, he seems like he's a good guy. Oh
yeah, I worked 3 shows with him. Yeah, super down to earth, watched every match of mine and gave me critiques at the end of it. He still works the indies.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that. I think I follow him on Twitter, and every once in a while it's like, oh yeah, he's out there doing something there. Oh yeah, I'm at this show or that show. It's like, oh cool, man, you're still out there doing your thing. Hey, go for it, man. Yeah, no, it's fun. I mean, now you more of a WCW guy growing up. I mean, that's what it seemed like from what you were saying.
Yeah, I edged towards the WCW side, but I also appreciated WWE. But yeah, like for me, like what really got me into it, like as an adolescent, was like NWO versus WCW, like Sting turning into the Crow, the Luchador movement. Like I wasn't so much about the Attitude Era.
Both are so
I grew up
good
to
comparing
appreciate
to it. Yeah. No, I'm with you. I mean, I was more of. I mean, I don't know. I'm so torn. I was kind of. I mean, I was more of a WWE guy growing up, but I was kind of even through it. I mean, that was what I first started watching, but then I started watching WCW pretty much right after Hulk Hogan came in. I started watching WCW, and then throughout was watching, pretty much both religiously. If it was, flipping back and forth, or I'd record one and watch another one. So throughout that whole era, I was going back and forth. So I could never really pick one or the other, because I mean it was just so good at that time.
Oh yeah. Do you remember the very last Monday Nitro?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was in Panama City, Florida. I was actually front and center row wearing a La Parka mask.
Really? Okay. Were you on camera for it?
Oh yeah. Like
Okay,
I said,
I got. I mean, well, it's on it's on the Peacock now, but I have it actually. I still have the VHS I taped of the last show, so I can throw it in and watch it.
yeah, I was front row, very center, and the show opens with me holding a sign saying Vince McMahon is Satan.
I think I think I remember seeing. I got to go back and watch it now, and I got to see it.
Just a few months ago, La Parka actually put it on his Instagram because it was me wearing, of course, a La Parka mask.
Yeah.
And I messaged him. I was like, "That's me wearing the mask," and he's like, "Oh." And we've talked a few times online. My wrestling outfit has a skeletal theme, and it's inspired by La Parka. And I've spoken to him a few times. I'm like, "Hey, this is a nod to you," and he's like, "Oh, thank you. That's awesome." And so he posted that picture, and I sent it to him, or I sent him the message. I was like, "Hey, that's me." He's like, "Holy shit, you're that guy I spoke to a few years ago."
I am envious of the. Well, I guess I don't know. I guess because we're around the same age, so we would have been not of legal drinking age at that time of it.
Yeah, I was 18.
Yes, and I remember seeing the post. Somebody posted a flyer of I don't know. You've probably seen it too, of the final Nitro, like the all you can drink, like eat and drink like party, and it was like $40 or something. And I'm like, if I could have been there at that last Nitro, just drinking and having a good time, it was
I stole one of those posters, and I had it for like a decade.
I saw it because somebody always posted it. And it'll pop up every now and then on somebody's Instagram or on a message board or something about the final Nitro on TNT, and a final party, all you can drink, eat, for like $50 or something. I'm like, man, if I could have been there for that, I'm like, it would have been awesome.
it was at Club La Vila, which was this huge nightclub, and I couldn't grab any drinks, but I hung out all night and like rubbed elbows with all the wrestlers, and like everybody unanimously like was happy WCW was going under. It was like such a shit show at the time. They were all hoping to go to WWE or just go elsewhere, and I couldn't get it at the time. Like, I bumped into Ric Flair, and I was just like, "Oh my god, that was an amazing match, and you're my hero." And like, how do you feel about all this? He's like, "Oh, it's a fucking relief. I hope I can go to WWE." This was a mess.
Yeah, you got to think like all those guys at that time when the company was so bad, going under that, it was
from 2000 to its end in 2002. It was a sinking ship.
Yeah, it's just you think you want to put an end to it. I mean, and you had high hopes at the time that it would get WWE would buy it and then relaunch it, and it would become like a second company. I mean, we saw that did not turn out at all.
Such a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, you get that because it was like, okay, well, Turner wasn't doing anything with the company. Okay, so Vince buys it, revamp it, relaunch it, and you'll have WWF and WCW, two companies under the same banner, but separate. And, that would be awesome. They'll bring in all the same guys WCW had, and they'll use them properly now. And then we saw what happened with the invasion and all that stuff. And then it was just, it was over. And WCW was never seen again after that. So it was high hopes at the time. But after a year or so, less than a year after that, it was, nope, not happening.
Yeah, that was right around the era where I started wrestling myself, and like my interest in like watching wrestling on TV just kind of like waned, because the entire industry just kind of like had been on a steady decline ever since.
Yeah. I mean, I started watching wrestling in '93 was when I fully got into it, and I watched from '93 to 2003 pretty much like nonstop religiously. And then and then it was 2004, the summertime. I would, between 2003 2004, I would pop in here and there. And then it was after 2004 I just kind of like stopped. And then until I picked it back up in 2011 before the Royal Rumble, when I heard, maybe because I heard that Kevin Nash was going to be in it as Diesel, and and that kind of piqued my interest. And I'm like, okay, now, and I found like some illegal stream online to to watch and watch it, and then from that point, kind of pick back up, and then for like 5 years after that, I was watching it, and man, I'll pop in every now and then if it comes to WWE or AEW. Stuff like that, and I'll watch some independent stuff online every now and then. But yeah, but it's never the same as it was during that the peak period.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
so did you catch the latest WrestleMania?
I did, yes.
I gotta say that Stone Cold match,
that was great. That was
pretty fucking killer.
Yeah, and that was the only thing I was essentially what I was watching for. What was that when they said, okay, he's gonna be on the first night. Main event. I had my Stone Cold, a Broken Skull, American Lagers, the new ones.
I saw
had them on hand.
Yeah.
Had them on hand. I was ready to go. I'm sitting there all night, like, okay. They split this event into 2 nights, and they're still doing like 4 hours on each night. It's like after 11 o'clock over here. And I'm like, all right, I want to go to bed. I can't stay up that late. Just put on the match. Then it was like when he came out, did that whole thing, it was like, all right, this is awesome. It definitely lived up to the hype.
Yeah, I thought it was like just going to be like an interview segment with him, just giving him a stunner or something at the end.
Yeah, stunner, beer bash, the usual thing.
Yeah, and it ended up being like a near 20-minute match, brawling into the crowd, and like he took a suplex on concrete. Like, yeah, that definitely like brought the nostalgia feels.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, and that's I guess the one thing these days that is the downfall of wrestling in WWE, at least for the most part, is that dependent so much on the nostalgia factor. And like somebody like Stone Cold comes back, and it's like amazing. You're so pumped up to see him, but there's nobody out there now that gives you that same feeling that's there every day. I mean, that one character that's that larger than life top guy. I mean, it's crazy.
And I don't know what that is. Like, maybe the fact that like the cat's out of the bag and it's all a show, or just the times we're in. But yeah, there's nobody who's like been that guy like since like The Rock or Stone Cold.
Yeah,
like it's been a 20-year gap since like we've had a real character like that.
Yeah.
Cena's like the last big name I can think of.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And that took years for people to finally catch on. Like when he was actually in his prime wrestling, that was when everybody hated him and didn't want to see him as a top guy. People were sick of him. But now if he comes back, people are like, oh my God, this guy's awesome. Yes. And it, cheers, blowing the roof off the place. It's crazy, but there's nobody there now that gives you that same feeling. And you hope that one day there could be something like that again, and it could recapture that magic. And like I said, I don't know if it's because of the times we're in now and just how the business is.
Like, we've got Roman Reigns.
Yeah. That deserved a big sip there on that one for.
Hey, I heard the ice. I took a swig of my.
Yeah. No, but hey, how's that concoction going? Is it flowing good there? I mean, it's still, the more you drink of it, the more the booze starts flowing through you. It's going to get better.
The more I drink of it.
Yeah.
It's not so terrible. I'm liking it okay. I've thrown some watermelon chunks in it. It's not so bad.
Oh, see, now you went to the fresh fruit. So now you're really living the high life there.
High life, yeah. Like I said, sophisticated palates.
Yeah. Hey, I'll have to try it out now. I got to see. I know. When did I see? Did I see that? I don't know. For some reason, I don't see Boone's Farm too often around here. I know I did see a few bottles a few weeks back in my travels, because I go out, I do my searching. If I'm out on the road anywhere driving around and I see a liquor store that I haven't been to, I got to pop in and see what they have, because you never know. You might find something good. You might find that unicorn, the special drink you've never had before, or something that you haven't seen in a while. When I was out a few weeks ago, I know I saw some Boone's Farm on the shelf. I just don't know I don't know if it was the same one you had or not. If it was, I'll have to pick it up to mix it with that fruit punch Four Loko, because I know I can get the Four Loko, no problem. It's just that Boone's Farm.
So yeah, this is the pink fruit trifecta: Strawberry Hill Boone's Farm, fruit punch Four Loko, and an actual watermelon. Just the classiest.
Now you just got to throw that in a blender. Yeah, put in some ice, throw it in a blender. You got your nice little smoothie there.
This may happen.
Hey, it's summertime, man. Get those drinks,
Okay, we'll do a sequel to this, and
we'll see.
Make proper Strawberry Hill fruit punch watermelon smoothies.
Hey, like we said, hey man, go big or go home. That's it. So what's next for you? Is it the I guess since the wrestling now is kind of on the back burner. I saw you out there. You're out there. I mean, I know you're still going to wrestling events, and I saw you out there last weekend promoting some pizza and promoting the BoozeQuest out there. So I guess is a BoozeQuest the main thing you're working on these days?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still doing wrestling shows. I'm still going in character. A big part of my wrestling persona was pizza. I was like Michelangelo of the Ninja Turtles meets WWK. I was just this big, like, pizza partying, enthusiastic, positive character. And yeah, when I announced, during COVID, I announced that, like, I was retiring from wrestling. And when my former company opened back up, they were like, "Hey, do you want to come back?" I was like, "My back's fucked. I can't do it anymore." And they were like, "Do you want to come back in any capacity?"
Just be an ambassador, the pizza guy.
They were like, "You're the pizza dude. Do you want to like just run a food table and do pizza and sell BoozeQuest?" And I was like, "Shit, sure."
Why not?
And so yeah, I've come back in a non-wrestling capacity. It's almost like a Macho Man when he was an announcer. I come like in the full garb and everything, and I'm playing my persona. But yeah, I'm like, buy BoozeQuest, buy pizza. So still doing the same thing. I'm just not around anymore.
Now, would you ever go into the announcing side of things? Would you ever want to do commentary or stuff like that?
I was actually offered a week ago. I was humoring the idea of trying to do one last match, and did a couple of training sessions, and my body's just not up to it. My back, like my spine's fucked.
Yeah.
And I gave it a shot. Couldn't work, and I talked to the promoter, and I was like, I want to do one more match. I did 2 training sessions and just could tell I wasn't up to it anymore. And I hit the promoter up and I was like, yeah, my back's fucked. If I did a match, it'd be in a very limited capacity, and it's not what I want to do. My last match was really solid, and I'd like to leave it at that. And he was like, yeah, well, would you like to do commentary? You don't just have to like run a food stand. We can make you a ref. We can make you a commentator. We can make you like temporary GM. We'll throw you into whatever storyline. And I'm humoring the idea of doing commentary. So it's something I'm exploring.
I always said that was for some reason, I never wanted to be a wrestler, but I did always want to do commentary. I don't know what it was. It was just something that I told my friends growing up. I was like, hey, I'm going to be like JR. I'm going to be doing commentary out there. So that was always something I wanted to do, was on the commentary side of things and talking. And I guess they kind of parlayed itself into doing a podcast. So I'm still talking, just not doing, play-by-play of wrestling. But hey, maybe one day. You never know.
You definitely have a voice for it.
Hey, I try my best. Can I bring the juice when I do commentary? Then that makes my commentary better.
Depends on the company, but if I was running one, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, hey, maybe we're onto something. Maybe we gotta. Once this BoozeQuest takes off and you got that BoozeQuest money, then you can start your own promotion, and it's all up to you.
Yeah, we do a medieval role playing themed professional
wrestling,
company.
Drinking. Yeah, I mean, it's like the wrestlers themselves can't drink, during the event, but anybody else around it, they're free to drink whatever they want.
Okay, so when are we opening BQW?
Yeah. We'll be in touch. We'll have your people call my people. They'll work out the details.
As long as we work out a contract where I have an unlimited supply of Strawberry Hill.
Yeah, and don't worry. We'll get some MD 2020 to you out there. We'll import it in for you. We'll cross whatever borders we need to. We'll keep it on the down low. We won't get a track there that anybody's knocking at your door saying, "Hey, we heard there was a pallet of MD 2020 delivered to your house the other day. Can we see this?" No, never happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we can't do it via flight. This is going to be in cars, under blankets.
We're going like Smoking the Bandit style. We're just bootlegging this stuff. We're gonna get the big trailer. Hey, if I gotta drive the Trans Am over there, I'll do it.
Okay, so BQW. Okay, we have a federation name.
Yes, we have it now. We're ready to go. We're in the beginning stages. Some companies don't even get this far, and we've already gotten this into this level of it.
Bootleg BoozeQuest wrestling.
Yeah.
We're like 2 more letters than the average company, but it'll work.
Hey, that just makes it different. That makes it stand out from the pack. It's like anybody can do WWE or AEW or W or whatever it is. They can do that stuff. But if we throw as many letters as we can in there, and they all make sense in some form, then we're good.
Alphabet soup. We're good to go.
That's it. Well, Nathan, I appreciate you taking the time to come on here and chat about BoozeQuest and wrestling and everything else to go along with it here, and the finest bum wine concoctions that money can buy right here. Well, at least in
the finest.
Yeah. At least in any given state that you're in at the time. But hey, I mean, so tell everybody where they can find you, where they can find BoozeQuest. Plug all the good stuff.
Okay, find me at www.playboozequest.com, Facebook/PlayBoozeQuest, Instagram PlayBoozeQuest, and I'm working on a YouTube channel. I'll probably get a TikTok and a Twitter eventually. I'm really reluctant to do it. But Instagram, Facebook, and the actual website, they're all up and running. You can buy games from the actual website. Got a store up and running. And we've got shirts, we've got the full games. I've got a store where you can buy like pint glasses, all the other gimmicks. So anybody listening, please check it out. You're gonna love the game. It plays awesome.
And when you're bringing up and if you do go into the TikTok, I only just ventured into the TikTok world like a month or 2 ago. If you're gonna do TikTok, post For Loko, because for some reason, whenever I post videos or pictures of For Loko on there, those get a lot of hits. Anything else gets like nothing. But you put a For Loko USA out there, people like that stuff. And you throw a little Real American in the background with the video. People love that stuff. So keep that in mind when you're setting this up.
Okay, For Loko.
Yeah. You have it right there. So it's available to you. It'll work out.
Wonderful.
Well, hey, Nathan, no, really, man, I appreciate it. A lot of fun chatting with you. The BoozeQuest, you keep selling me on the game here, so I'll give you credit on that. That I'll definitely have to check it out and give it a shot for myself to see. Like I said, I've never won for the role playing type games, but you put the drinking aspect into it, and you have my attention now. So I like it.
Before we close,
Yes,
I'm throwing out a challenge. If you buy a copy of the game, I would love to play a remote game with you. You with a partner, me with a partner on the other end. We get a webcam.
okay.
And for one of your sessions of your podcast, we play a full game of booze.
Do it. Okay. All right. I like it.
It'd be a lot of fun.
I like it. Okay. All right. Yes. He laid down the challenge, guys. He laid it down. We will.
And we can do it exclusively with bum wine.
Yep. Yes. We will. I like it. I like where your head's at. You're thinking, man. I like it. We'll discuss.
Okay. Follow up with me. We'll do it.
All right, man. All right. He is Nathan. Check him out. Check out the BoozeQuest. Hit up the links. We'll put them up on the website at bumwinebob.com.
PlayBoozeQuest.com.
Play BoozeQuest. Well, man, you heard that? Play BoozeQuest. That's that juice, man. That juice in the MD 2020 gets you every time. And don't forget to check out. I'm teasing it right now. I put up a few links today. If you go to buybobabeer.com, I'm working on some new features, some ways you can support the podcast, the website, Bone with Bobcat. We'll be doing some new features soon on there. But hey, check them out. Nathan, BoozeQuest. I am Bumwine Bob. And until next time, you got it. And until next time, cheers.
Cheers.
I need a beer.